Welcome back, everybody, to Grand Tactician, the Civil War. I'm Grumpy Grandpa Gaming, and this is episode 2 of our Union Summer 61 campaign in version 1.11 development patch using the A.O.M mod. Like I say, it actually took me about 3 tries to get that down. I got so used to saying Confederate from the last campaign and how long that ran. I had to reshoot this intro 3 times. Alright, so last episode, we did see the Battle of Wheeling. I got some army organization done. And we'll talk about that here shortly because I am very short of some things. And we did build 2 more prison camps, one of which I put in the wrong spot. So we did build one up here outside of Detroit for a viewer. And I kept wanting to build Elmira, and I put it in a damn wrong location. Someone pointed out to me, Elmira's right here, down along New York-Pennsylvania border. Though where I did put it is arguably probably a worse location for it. So, and I can personally can't remember, this road does exist still today. I can't remember the name of it. I've actually used it quite a few times. This is all mountains and farms and nothing else out there. It's quite literally like almost the middle of nowhere in the state. So, anybody who knows New York State at all, a lot of this is pretty vast and empty out once you get out here. And it is fucking cold during the winter. So, a much, much worse location than where Elmira actually is. Alright, so like I said, we did get some organization done. First Corps is probably the most fleshed out corps, as they had the most troops. I actually did end up removing a lot of the artillery and cavalry out of this unit. But this is how the layout for the Corps is going to look through the campaign. This is how my standard layout for the campaign playthrough. And we are just short across the board. Second Corps is also fully fleshed out. Third Corps. Fourth Corps, who's not? Okay, so from 5th and on, they're not going to be fully fleshed out because I don't have the infantry. Started with a lot of cavalry and artillery, not a lot of infantry. So, and that's going to be an issue. There are Confederate forces moving around some of these areas. He's not so bad. He just needs one more brigade. As you can see, like in the recruitment commands, there's a ton of artillery, there's a ton of cavalry, no infantry coming up whatsoever. And 1st and 2nd Corps U.S. Army are fleshed out. They're only going to be 3 divisions each because they're only using the pre-built regular army brigades. They'll go up to 4 divisions each when I start the USCT Act, and I'll give them a division each of USCT. But it's going to be pretty hard to support them once they're down here, as if supplies have to be brought in by ship. So speaking of which, I will be recruiting fill-out brigades for the rest of these units once we have Militia Act 2 done in 14 days. The viewer units I will not start recruiting until I have Militia Act 4, as they're going to form a separate corps, so I want them to have the 3-year contracts before I start recruiting them. Alright, and that should cover everything for now. As I said, we're just going to hold the line and wait for the 2 U.S. Army Corps to be good to go before I send them down to the Gulf and we start enacting my strategy for New Orleans and Mobile. So, I'll be back. Alrighty, it's August 13th, and the rebels have snuck the Army Tennessee, which only has 700 men right now, going up to 11,000, up into Cincinnati. And the only reason I noticed is Recruitment Command Ohio Valley was there, and I got a alert saying they were at their destination. So I didn't get an alert saying that they even retreated in front of them, but that they moved to a new destination. So I have 5th Corps, which is also under strength, but it way outnumbers this current force. Is on its way there now to kick them out. So I did see some tracks for rebel forces moving north. I just wasn't too sure if they were actually true or not. Looks like there's another force up here somewhere. which doesn't make any sense. So, I don't think there will be a fight here. They just don't have the numbers for it, so it's just an update, so I'll be back. Alright, it's August 17th, and it looks like we have the Army of Central Kentucky was moving behind my lines. 4,300 men, and the Army of Potomac, 21,000, are approaching 4th Corps outside of Wheeling, which only has 12,000 men. I was moving 8th Corps over to support them, but they're still coming up to strength. A lot of their brigades won't be in for another 20 days or so. Crap, I don't know if I'll be able to win this fight or not. A lot of these brigades are under strength now, since my enlistments went up on August 1st. And the Army of Potomac's joining in. Oh, do. Four of my brigades have low morale. Oh, that was because I didn't notice the last battle. Scammon was defamed, so I did replace him with Lew Wallace as the division commander. I'm really up on the air if I should take this fight or not. You know what? I think the answer to this one is no. We're going to withdraw. Is he withdrawing south? No. Good. All right. If the 8th Corps was there, they wouldn't be much help, as they are under strength by a lot. There's 7 days, 8. All right. It'd be another week before their infantry was up, along with their artillery, it looks like, and cavalry. Everything's basically arriving in 7 to 8 days for them. They have an odd cavalry unit out, so that's got to go. Send him to Ohio Valley Recruitment Command, even though it's a Maryland unit, just to have someplace from. He's closer to there than he is back to east. Right, don't go too far. I think you'll be supporting 8th Corps in about a week with another combat. Oh, and I did order 2nd Corps down into Winchester to seize the Harpers Ferry arsenal. I was going to build a supply depot up here, and I'm like, why bother when there's one that's already built at Harpers Ferry? So I did move them down into the region. And I moved 9th Corps into Cumberland. The last campaign, the rebels loved coming up this way for some reason. Alright, and I was just looking at the 2 Corps for the regular army. 1st Corps will be ready to go in another 60 days. So it'll be 2 months before I get the Gulf strategy rolling. So I'll be back. Would you look at this? It is August 26th, and the Department of South Carolina has snuck into Maryland and started besieging Fort McHenry, of all things. 6th Corps, can you handle this? Not really. Can in 4 days. Hopefully this siege will last that long. South Carolina cadets, that's got to be, oh, what's the name of that academy? It escapes me right now. It's going to piss me off until I remember it. But, these guys should be able to hold out for 4 days before 6 Corps is able to assist. I don't want to move 1st Corps out of Alexandria. This might be our next combat, or I might just move them into the siege so they get the experience. I don't know yet. I'll see. I'll be back. Alrighty, it's September 1st in game, and right as I moved 6 Corps into support of Fort McHenry, it surrendered. I really thought they would have held out longer. There was actually a garrison in there. So, I'm going to do the monthlies, and then we're going to clean this mess up. I think he might be in another siege right now. Alright, so here we go. Alright, current rating of our nation is AA-. Our debt has increased by 25 million. Yep, we didn't hand out one bond. But we'd actually also bought back a bond. So it really did not change. Current economy cycle is expansion. Tax revenues increased by 198 million. Total export last month was 39 out with 98 coming in, which is expected. We are not exporting cotton or anything like that. And, average crop production over the last 3 months was 1.1 billion, a change of negative 4.6 million. Going here to alerts. And once again, this is all the same stuff. Whether you're Union or Confederacy, you see the same shortages across the board. Coffee, which we don't produce, has got to be brought in. Copper, flour, food, gold. All these things will slowly settle out as the game rolls on and I get more farm subsidies and whatnot pumped into the system. So, those will slowly work themselves out. Come over to Finances tab. We do have a surplus of 31 million. Our expenses were 609 million. Oh, I did increase funding for politics, economy, agriculture. Everything is at high right now except for diplomacy, which I'm putting no money into whatsoever. Hopefully, this will shrink. Our surplus will shrink as I do start recruiting units. We did pop on Policy Act 3. So Policy Act 4 is in play, and that'll be another 28 days. So by the end of the month, I'll start recruiting the viewer units. And just a reminder, if you'd like a unit in one of my armies, let me know in the comments below. Type of unit, what state it's from, weapons, uniforms, officers, and I'll oblige you on all counts if possible. Alright. We'll go to intelligence. Alright, they're working on Militia Act 3. Doing rebuilt ironclads. Speaking of which, kind of messed up last episode where I thought the Chesapeake Bay fleet kept engaging my other fleets. It was actually the Charleston Harbor fleet was engaging my third blockading fleet and is actually disintegrated. Along with the, I think the Savannah Squadron is down to 2 ships. So, Confederacy went all out on a naval offensive that just did nothing. Alright. Confederate relations to Britain are 33%. Which is, as far as I'm concerned, that's good. I want to bring them into the war on their side. It says they've recruited 450 men in 5 brigades. That's got to be a bunch of artillery. And they constructed 5 more ships, which they do need. Alright, going over to strategy. We are back up to 161,000. We were below 100,000. We do have troops coming into the field. Some men are starting to replace the guys who did leave on August 1st. Other brigades that were in training are now standing up. Confederacy's up to 134,000 men. Right now, it looks like most of their forces are operating in Western Virginia. Everybody seems to be coalesced around here for the most part. Don't know what the AI is doing, but that's what they have done. So, Corley, I'm starting to spread my corps out, probably a little detrimentally, but it is what it is. I didn't give him movement orders, did I? I did not give him movement orders. Once again, oh, and A.O.M did get back to me in the comments in the last episode. I don't know if it's on or not, but the initial casualties that they were showing were from all the actions that did take place prior to Bull Run, so that was something they did add themselves. So that was a nice little touch. I really liked that. And coming over to the military once again. I'm going to hold off until the 3-year contract. I could start filling in the rest of these corps right now, but I do want to wait for the 3-year contracts. Actually, I'm going to start filling in these other corps with 2-year units. I don't even know if the war will last that long. I want it to last long enough for me to enact my Mississippi River strategy. Alright, policies. Like I said, we are working on Militia Act 4. Once that is complete, we're going to start with letters of marque, so I can piss off the Europeans a little bit more. Then we'll run into military 2. This way I can move on to getting the Emancipation Proclamation and USCT troops. I'm hoping not to have to enact and draft. Should have enough volunteers where I shouldn't have to. But again, the USCT will be a big part of filling up the draft numbers. Volunteer numbers. Once that's done, we will come down here, run into the Tariff Act and all that stuff. And get the economy rolling. But I just want to get the troops in the field right now. Projects, what we got available. Infrastructure reform. That is something I do want. That'll allow supplies to roll a little better. And military stuff. Organization reform. Yep, okay. That took everything. Not doing Hall's carbines. Don't need them, don't want them. Alright. Speaking of which, I do have some weapons in production. We are very short weapons. We do have a lot to choose from here, but I do have more. Oh, some of them did show up. I ordered another 10,000 stand of Springfields. I guess they're almost done. Another 3 days. Very good. And I did order more 10-pounder parrots. 29 of them are in. Another 176 days for this order to complete. And I also ordered more Napoleons. All of the batteries that are directly supporting divisions will be Napoleons. So I do have to run through and start changing all of those. So if they have howitzers, those are going away. I want everybody to have Napoleons. Unless they're the artillery division, then they'll have Parrot rifles. Whether 10s or 20s, once I start getting those built up. Alright, I think that covers everything. So, let's see, is this a siege? It's not showing anything. Nope, they're routed, okay. First Corps, you gotta go unmess this. Where is he going? He's going all the way to Manassas Junction, really? Oh, look at that. I didn't even give them a flag. They have the First Corps flag. It looks like a First Corps flag. Really? Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, your core is broken. Of course it is. Getting my units ready this up is killing me. And is he running away from us? Where is he going? Oh, this is going to be annoying, isn't it? And he is retreating. Let's get you over to Annapolis now. See how many directions we can get them running in. Okay, he just moved into a siege. I'll let this play out. We should win that handily. Let him get the XP. And he should be retreating south of 6th Corps now. Like I said, we'll let this one play out. I'll be back. Alrighty, it's a September 16 game, and the Department of South Carolina has reared its ugly head again. It is now besieging Fort Washington. So I have 6th Corps on its way to cover down on that. So they were actually crossing here at Akai Landing. So as soon as we get rid of this little bug, I'm going to plant 6th Corps on landing. I usually do put a corps there. It just slipped my mind this time. So we'll get that crossing point shut down, and I can move 1st Corps back down into Northern Virginia. And it looks like the rebels are already going for a draft. Alright. And I do have recruitment issues also. I was actually just recruiting another division of soldiers to help fill out 6th Corps because it still needs 2 more divisions, and there's like basically nothing available. Where is it? So, it says I have 60,000 altogether, but that's not what I'm seeing. We are very, very low on available volunteers. I may have to start a draft long before I thought I was going to have to. Because we do have a lot of soldiers available, just not a lot in any one state. So trying to get my infantry up to strength is going to be an issue. I'll work around it, but it is going to be an issue. So I might have a hard time recruiting the viewer unit. I want to fill out the corps that I already have and create the core viewer units for the operation in the Gulf, but I don't know what is going to happen at this point with the lack of numbers. I'm going to suck all this up just trying to fill out my corps. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. If anything, I'm probably going to start recruiting understrength brigades just to get the corps filled out and then pop off on the draft, and they'll fill up on their own after that. That's what I'll do. So, just an update. I'll be back. Oh, I think I might just end up sacking Mansfield from command to 6th Corps. I'd sent him down to help relieve Fort Washington, and he immediately withdrew. I mean, his readiness is in the orange, but it's home territory. He should have moved in to help with that siege. That is just annoying. So, as soon as Armored Potomac finishes up, Armored Potomac 1st Corps finishes up here, and it's pretty heavily in our favor now. I'm going to have to send them down to handle Department of South Carolina, because they won't stand and fight them. They don't have the manpower to do that. You get one more chance, Mansfield, and then you're done. Alright, just an update. Nope. And it also looks like we have the Armored Potomac moving on 2nd Corps at Winchester. which should be a good fight. They're about even in numbers. And the Army of Central Kentucky is still sitting in Wheeling as 4th Corps is so close they can't flip it. So they're just kind of sitting there right now. And we actually control the depot, so they can't even draw supplies out of it. So I'm happy enough to let that sit right now until looks like 8th Corps finally got its troops. So to recruit another 2 brigades for him, 1 more line brigade, and an engineer brigade. And then he'll be filled up. And you are getting... Where is it? Ambulance Corps. Always go to Ambulance Corps first. Where are you going, Frederick? Not where I want you, but... Take orders now. Yeah, put everybody on scout so they get up a little faster on their experience points, and then helps writing this also, having good scouts. This will be just long here. I think we might have a combat here at Winchester. Or is he going to go around? Where is he going? And the Army of Northwest is showing up too. 15,000 men. Ooh, this might not be a good fight. That will give them a distinct advantage. Oh, he has 29,000 men now. Alright, fall back. And burn the depot. Get out of there. Ooh, this is not good. Okay, this is better. Army Northwest is not involved. Okay, I can live with this. Alright, Nathaniel Banks against Beauregard. We're going to take this one since the Army Northwest is not part of it. So I'll be back after the load screen. Welcome to the Battle of Harpers Ferry. We are on the defensive. And we are defending. We're on the Winchester map, and we are defending down at Kernstown. So one thing I didn't notice until right after I stopped recording is the Confederacy has 140 guns on the field. They have a lot of artillery. A lot of it. This isn't even showing me everything. But, because can't scroll, it's not showing me everything. But, yeah, they have 140 guns on the field to my 56. And we saw at Battle Wheeling that they do have a lot of batteries, so it looks like theirs have come up to strength. One thing I don't like is defending around Kernstown, because I just don't like the terrain around it. Historically, the Battle of Kernstown, both battles of Kernstown were fought over here on Pritchard's Hill. Ridgeline here, mostly in this area. Both times. So, Union blocking forces preventing Confederates from coming up the main road towards Winchester. Not too sure as to where. And this battlefield is open. It does exist. It's actually privately owned. Doesn't belong to the Parks Department, so it's only open on the weekends, but it's a lovely little spot. If you're ever in the valley, I highly suggest visiting it. And there's so many battlefields in the valley, it's spend the whole week down there just checking them all out. Where am I going to defend? I don't want to sit along the creek. And they have so many approach routes. So like me personally, I would use this road here. Come along here and across the sandy ridge. Let me figure this out, and I'll be back with defensive dispositions. Alright, I've settled on a plan of defense here. So, from left to right, I have 1st, 2nd, and 3rd divisions in line, straddling along the main macadamized road coming south from Winchester, with the Cavalry division coming the right flank, and 4th division with their battery detached sitting in reserve. Their battery's up on the ridge line with the rest of these batteries. I'm kind of worried about the Confederacy coming down this road, but I should be able to spot the dust trails and flex if that does happen. But I think they probably will use the main road out of Winchester. It might come down this road too. You know, I'm going to put 4th Division there and leave the Cavalry in reserve. Reattach the battery. Didn't I just reattach him? Yeah, I'll get it worked out. I'll just bring him over. It's actually a good spot for that battery. They gave Irish Brigade its flag to start with. That's awesome. Now does the Irish Legion have its flag? The Excelsior Brigade looks like it has theirs. And Eagle Brigade has theirs. That's actually pretty awesome. That battery's got good siding. So yeah, so left to right, so 1st to 4th with the Cavalry in reserve now. I do have a feeling to come down this road and this road. So that works out better. Yeah, I like that. So we'll get these guys building some breastworks up, and I will be back once we have contact with the rebels. Alrighty, it's 14:30 on day 1. We do have a rebel dust trail sighted. It looks like they are coming down through Winchester. Army's still massed up this way. So I don't think there will be a combat today. Could be one. If there is, it'll be light. Now, one thing I wanted to point out here is awesome is these arrows start to disappear as the sections of the works are built, which is pretty cool. So you know what's built and what's not built. I just had to point that out. That's just, they've done a lot of work, and it's pretty awesome work. So, looks like I'll be back once these boys make their way through town. Hopefully my works are completed by then, but it doesn't look like it. So it's 14:40 in game, and it's a good thing I put 4th Division up here. Get some rebel cavalry and infantry coming down this road here. And they're going to run right into the Excelsior Brigade and the Irish Brigade. And I started building their works last, so hopefully the artillery can drive them off. I mean, you need to shift the artillery division. There's really no good spot to put them over here, except out here. These guys won't be an issue. The infantry following behind might be. Should have had the engineers build some of these works, but especially for this division, as they actually, except for the Eagle Brigade, actually already have perks, short range, shock fire, and melee specialists. So I should have had the engineers building this for them, but I did have them building reserve works in Kernstown itself in case I had to throw the cavalry in there. What the hell's going on there? All right. Alright, halt, stop your construction. Keep them off the artillery, damn it. See them off. Who else is... Oh, they're coming up over here, too. I was wondering why I was hearing some more firing. What's with the piecemeal attacks? Everybody in this corps is armed with rifles, so I'm not worried about them at all. So unless they are armed with Lorenz, the enemy are armed with Lorenzes or Mississippis, we have them outranged all day. You should not be getting ready to break. All right, back to work. That brigade broke already. I don't think there's going to be much of a fight at this battle. Yeah, I'll be back if something major starts happening. So 1513. It looks like you can see 2 batteries right now, but there are 3 batteries here. They're moving up unsupported, so I'm sending out the Irish brigade to go grab these boys. And there's the 3rd one. Shouldn't take much to get them cleared off. They're already getting ready to break, and they're riding right at my lines for some reason. I don't know what the AI is doing, but I think it gave a lot of orders, and it still hasn't given counter orders yet. Which works in my favor. Go get him, Mar. And their shock unit. So the only way to level them is getting them into hand-to-hand. Which works for me. We'll have them put out a volley and then charge in. Alright, go get them. And I'm shifting one of my divisional artillery batteries, the one with the James rifles. I haven't upgraded any of their batteries yet, so I'm still waiting for more Parrots to come in. Just to support this flank. Go get them, boys. Get in there before they're reloaded. Ooh. Not pretty. There you go. See them off. There we go. Can't capture those boys. Got plenty of prison camps for them to go to. I can't bag any of them. Oh well. Now get back here. There's no way they're firing at my artillery. Not down that low. No way. Oh, they rode some cavalry right up to me. All these guys are building their works, all moving around a little weirdly. Some of these guys are done building. They saw more batteries coming up. Said they had 150 guns in this army. Ugh. Taking counter battery pretty good. It's another battery. And it'll be a while before they're in position. Got to be able to do much. There's only 4 guns. Blocking them now. Battery 8 of 1st New York's been seen off. No big deal. I'm going to flex my cavalry out this direction. It keeps sending those batteries up unsupported. I can just go grab them. No, 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 no. Not the Corps commander. No! Oh, God. Not the Corps commander, damn it. They still waiting for their orders? Yeah. Fuck. I thought I had initiative turned off. I did. Why are they turning? Doing. Artillery moving out to the flank. Cavalry moving yet. Oh, they just got those halt orders. And that's a lot of batteries. Corps commander, don't want him again. Out there to the double. That's Eagles Brigade first combat. That's not good. Some of these brigades are first combat, for some it's not. Alright, let's go get these batteries. No point in standing there getting shot. And their counter battery is pretty damn good right now. Volleys out, go get him. Now waiting for the cavalry. Need to clear these guys out. Go get the Purcell battery there. Once more into the breach, Irish. Probably just have them sweep down and clear up all this artillery. There's no infantry with them at all. I think most of this Confederate Army strength is in their seems to be in their cavalry and artillery arm. Very good. And Excelsior Brigade broke. There's building those works. The Excelsior Brigade hadn't broke, I would have just swapped this division down. Oh, they have a perk, but it's their first battle. That's their first battle, too. Alright. We do have the morale down to 20. Ain't gonna take much more to get rid of them. Reorder you guys over here. And look at all that unsupported artillery. I have to go grab that. Yeah, I'm at almost 1,000 casualties already. More cavalry riding around out here. Just building that. What the hell are you guys doing? Looks like some things have improved and some things have not. New York Irish showing them how it's done. Everybody else may have broken, they haven't. These guys, that's Pennsylvania regiments. They got a Pennsylvania flag, Ohio. The flags are like shiny objects. They're a little distracting. Look at all that artillery. Division getting in place. You're about to go have a cavalryman's wet dream. Go get them. Cavalryman's wet dream coming up. As long as they don't break. This will break the Confederate Army. Keep going, don't stop. That one battery, one brigade broke. Come on, get in there. Don't break. Break them, come on. And all the cavalry broke, oh well. The Irish will finish the job. I wonder if the division commander is going to get the fame because of that. Who's that? Wade. This is other brigade. They reform? Nope. Back down there. I want to send out the Eagle Brigade to help, but they're ready to break too. And they are withdrawing. Eagle Brigade, get out here. Not much of a battle, but this will get rid of everybody's first battle jitters. We're retreating, let's go, let's keep killing them. A little charge jumped my casualties by about 200, but that ain't bad. We're at better than 2-to-1 odds on the casualties. Rebels had 150 guns during this battle. They just lost a good chunk of them. get that brigade. Shoot him in the back. Double time it. There we go. Let's keep killing them. 60 casualties to that battery. Caught up to these boys. Good. Shoot them in the back. That last battery. If we get this last battery, I think we might have gotten all their guns. And only 1 minute left. I don't think we're going to get them. Nope, got away with some of them. Right. So, not a very exciting battle, especially because it's everybody's, especially my second corps, it's everybody's first battle. So that got rid of the first battle jitters, thankfully, for these troops. So hopefully it'll perform better in the next battle. So we lost 381 infantrymen of our 22,383. 111 of our 1,600 cavalry. 17 of our 54 guns, because they were firing some very effective counter battery. I have to say, very effective counter battery. So our total loss is 517 men of our 24,807. Beauregard lost only 350 of his 26,000 infantry, 250 of his 3,400 cavalry. He got 100 of his 150 guns. And his total loss is 1,400 of his 32,000 men. Almost 3-1 on the casualties. Paperwork here. All right. Engineers didn't fight. Cavalry division and their broken charge. Division total is 182, but the 2nd Pennsylvania did 22 casualties. 3rd Indiana did 39 casualties. Artillery captured 80 for a total of 119. That's the one that hung in the longest, I'm assuming. And the 1st Ohio did 36 casualties and 5 captured, total of 41. Once again, division total of 182. 1st Division, looks like they got some shots in. Just the 1 brigade, the 1st Brigade, caused 90 casualties to cavalry. And showing the artillery did 1 casualty, but not the who. 4th Division, which is the Eagle Brigade, Irish Brigade, and Excelsior Brigade, and the 1st New York Artillery Battery A. So I thought the battery did a lot of firing. I thought they would have caused more casualties than 1. Because they did a lot of firing. They only caused 1 casualty. That's just sad. Oof. But Eagle Brigade caused 113 casualties to infantry, 57 to cavalry, 80 to artillery, for a total of 250. The Irish Brigade, 323 casualties to artillery with 91 captured, for a total of 420. Excelsior Brigade did 63 to cavalry, 37 to artillery, for a total of 100. And division total is 771. 2nd Division, not much. 2nd Brigade did 11 casualties to cavalry and 2 from the 4th U.S. Artillery Company A. 3rd Division, so 8th Brigade Did 34 infantry casualties. 7th Brigade did 139. And the 2nd Brigade did 36. And the 26th Indiana Independent Artillery did 7. And the artillery division, I didn't even actually check to see if that one battery got in position. It might be this one. Did 3 casualties to infantry, 22 to artillery. I think this might have been the one battery I sent. Did they ever even get there? No, they're still back here. They never even... Oh, they just stopped there. They had... Oh, when I gave the Corps orders by mistake, they actually had orders to come out over here. All right, but I think they got some shots in. All right, let's close out of here and hopefully don't freeze. So, like I said, not a very exciting battle, but he did get rid of the first battle jitters, and that Confederate army is very artillery heavy. That's where the majority of their people are, it looks like. They don't have very many infantry brigades. Even though they got like 20-something thousand men, I think it's mostly artillerymen. Some of those batteries are pretty damn big. That was just Come on, load out. Oh, tell me you're frozen 98%. Oh, there we go. All right. So, Captain Brooks loses face. Captain A.S. Cuts lose face. I gotta go through the army and see who lost face. I'm sure some of those battery commanders did. All right, Battle of Harpers Ferry's ended, with the Armed Potomac retreating in panic. The enemies reportedly suffered total casualties of 1,413 men, thereof 206 killed and 397 captured. Our casualties totaled 517 men, with 181 killed and 53 missing. Captured 321 rifles and 53 guns from the battlefield. We sent 364 soldiers up to our prison camps. All right. Let's get that one rolled off. Our Army of Northwest looks like it has more infantry than artillery. They only have 45 guns. There it goes. All right. I think we'll pause this here, do a quick map overview, and close out the episode. So we'll go east to west. Oh, First Corps got a perk now. Very good. Ambulance Corps. Always go to Ambulance Corps. Alright, so the siege of Fort McHenry is going on. We should be recapturing it pretty soon here. But looks like the siege is almost over. It's moved very heavily in our favor. The Department of South Carolina is besieging Fort Washington, but we'll take care of that as soon as we have retaken Fort McHenry. 6th Corps, Mansfield, Mansfield, Mansfield. I may end up getting rid of Mansfield. But he does have a decent administration score. So one more chance. You get one more chance, buddy. We just won the battle here at Winchester with 2nd Corps. You got 9th Corps in Cumberland. 4th Corps just outside of Wheeling. Looks like I'm going to push them back in here soon, so we have 2-to-1 odds against the Army of Central Kentucky. Now that the Army of Potomac's no longer there, we have a fight. We can easily win that fight. Recruitment Command's made it to Columbus. 5th Corps is in Cincinnati. 7th Corps still out in Cairo. And I'm not sure what's going on with all the Western rebel armies. I haven't seen hide nor hair of them. Usually just having a corps sit here brings the rebels on like magpies, and they are not doing it. So, how big is Lion's unit? Yeah, Lion's is waiting for 1 brigade. So I might send them down to hit the Indian Army. But I don't want to go on the offensive up here. So I want to enact my other strategy. Speaking of which, I think 1st Corps is almost ready to go. It looks like they are in the green. Yes, they are. They have 7 more days. Okay. So in next episode, I will be sending the 1st Corps U.S. Army down around Florida and towards Pensacola. I'm not going to have them take care of these forts first, as I won't be able to supply them. So I am going to land them over at Fort Pickens. Have them build a supply depot to support themselves, and then move on to take Fort Barrancas at Pensacola. This way we have this port in our control and able to supply our troops. From there, I'll move them along to Mobile, take this port, and then take down the fortifications here at Fort Gaines and Fort Morgan. And hopefully be supported with 2nd Corps while doing that. So I don't want to overload the area with more troops than I can supply, which will probably happen. Alright. Once again, if you'd like a unit in my armies, please let me know in the comments below. Type of unit, state it's from, weapons, uniforms, officer, and I'll oblige you on all counts as possible. Reminder, I cannot create avatar officers now unless you've done it on my recruitment post. Is now close to doing avatars. You cannot add them in once the campaign has started. No comments. As always, please do keep them coming. You're staying and talking and discussing what's happening on these games really does help keep me going. And I will see you all at the next episode. Stay grumpy.